Hi everyone, welcome to our classes. In today's class, we are going to learn about a grammar topic, degrees of comparison. ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಮಿತ್ರರೇ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಒಂದು ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡಿಗ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಸನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಲಿಯೋಣ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಡಿಗ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಸನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? ದೆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಕೈಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಗ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಸನ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್? ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಲುಕ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದೆಮ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದೇರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್. Adjectives change in the form when they show comparison. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ನಾಮವಿಶೇಷಣ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬೋದು. ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾಮವಿಶೇಷಣೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಆವಾಗ ತಮ್ಮವು ಮೂಲ ರೂಪವನ್ನು ಬದಲಿಸ್ತವೆ ಅಂತ. ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಸನ್. ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ. An adjective is said to be in the positive degree when there is no comparison. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಡ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ನಾಮವಿಶೇಷಣವನ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಸನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ದಿ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರೇಟಿವ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ. An adjective is said to be in the comparative degree when it's used to compare two persons, things or qualities. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ವಸ್ತುಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ನಾವು ಹೋಲಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಅಥವಾ ಗುಣಗಳ ಒಂದು ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಸೆಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಎ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರೇಟಿವ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ. And what about superlative degree then? An adjective is in the superlative degree when it's used to compare more than two persons, things or qualities. We use the article the before the superlative degrees. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೂಪರ್ಲೇಟಿವ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಎರಡಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯೆ, ವಸ್ತುಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಮತ್ತು ಗುಣಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಹೋಲಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೂಪರ್ಲೇಟಿವ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದಿ ಅಡ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ದ ಡೆಫಿನಿಟ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ದ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಒಂದು ನಾಮ ವಿಶೇಷಣದ ಮುಂದೆ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ದ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಡೆಫಿನಿಟ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ. ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಲುಕ್ ಎಟ್ ದಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್. ಲಾಂಗ್, ಲಾಂಗರ್, ಲಾಂಗೆಸ್ಟ್. ಸೆಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಲಾಂಗ್, ಲಾಂಗರ್, ಲಾಂಗೆಸ್ಟ್. ಲಾರ್ಜ್, larger, largest. Fast, faster, faster. See how the adjectives are changed when we make the comparison between the things. Okay, and look at this. Big in positive degree, then it becomes bigger in comparative degree and biggest in superlative degree. So this is how the adjectives change their form when we make comparison between them. Then let's look at the examples. Then how the comparatives and superlative degrees of adjectives are formed. Okay, adjectives usually formed their comparative and superlative degrees. Condition number 1, by addition of er and est to the positive degree. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಆರ್ ಅಡ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರೇಟಿವ್ ಸೂಪರ್ಲೇಟಿವ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇ ಆರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಇ ಎಸ್ ಟಿಯನ್ನು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರೇಟಿವ್ ಸೂಪರ್ಲೇಟಿವ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ. ಲುಕ್ ಎಟ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಬ್ರೈಟ್, ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರೈಟರ್, ಬ್ರೈಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್, ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕರ್, ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕೆಸ್ಟ್. ಬೋಲ್ಡ್, ಬೋಲ್ಡರ್, ಬೋಲ್ಡೆಸ್ಟ್. ಕ್ಲೆವರ್, ಕ್ಲೆವರರ್, ಕ್ಲೆವರೆಸ್ಟ್. ಕೋಲ್ಡ್, ಕೋಲ್ಡರ್, ಕೋಲ್ಡೆಸ್ಟ್. Fast, faster, fastest. Great, greater, greatest. High, higher, highest. Then kind, kinder, kindest. This is how we can change the adjectives by adding er and est to make them different degrees. And look at there is another way. Number 2, this by addition of r and est to the positive degree ending in e. If the adjective ends in e, if that is the case, what we have to do? We have to add r or st to that word and make it comparative and superlative. And look at the examples. Brave becomes braver, bravest. Fine, finer, finest. Large, larger, largest. Nice, nicer, nicest. The noble, nobler, noblest. Pale, paler, palest. Simple, simpler, simplest. Wise, wiser, wisest. And white, whiter, whitest. This is how the words or the adjectives ending in e take r or st And look at point number 3. When the positive ends in Y and has a consonant before it, we change Y into I and then add ER and EST. So look at positive degree. If the adjective ends in Y, what we need to add? IER, Y or EST. Costly becomes costlier, costliest. Dry, drier, driest. Easy, easier, easiest. Happy, happier, happiest. Heavy, heavier, heaviest. Then lazy, lazier, laziest. And wealthy, wealthier, wealthiest. This is how we can make the positive into comparative and superlative. And look at point number 4. When the positive degree ends in a consonant with a vowel before it, we double the consonant and then add ER and EST. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ adjectives consonant in the end ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ, okay, before it we have a vowel, then what we have to do? We have to double the consonant and then add ER or EST. ಅಂದ್ರೆ big, bigger, biggest. Dim, dimmer, dimmest. Fat, fatter, fattest. Hot, hotter, hottest. Thin, thinner, thinnest. This is how we can change them into comparative and superlative. Then look at point number 4. By addition of ER and EST to the positive degree when it ends in Y. In some other cases, if a word or an adjective it ends in Y, we can add ER or EST. Gay, gayer, gayest. Gray, grayer, grayest. This is how we make some changes to make them comparative and superlative. And look at point number 6. By placing more and most before the positive form, there are some words, they do not change their original form. So what we have to do? We have to add more and most to them to make them comparative and superlative. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಶಬ್ದಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ, ಅವು ತಮ್ಮ ಮೂಲ ರೂಪವನ್ನು ಯಾವುದೇ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಮೋರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ವರ್ಡನ್ನು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಕಂಪೇರಿಟಿವ್ ಸೂಪರ್ಲೇಟಿವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. And look at them. Active, more active, most active. And attractive, more attractive, most attractive. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Brilliant, more brilliant, most brilliant. Okay. And careful, more careful, most careful. Courageous, more courageous, most courageous. Difficult, more difficult, most difficult. Famous, more famous, most famous. Faithful, more faithful, most faithful. Important, more important, most important. Okay. Proper, more proper, most proper. And popular, more popular, most popular. Suitable, more suitable, and most. This is how we can change them into by adding the words more and most. And look at point number 7. There are some adjectives do not follow any of the rules explained earlier. They are compelled irregularly. Here are the different forms of such adjectives. Okay. ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು adjectives ಇದೆ. ಅವು ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅವಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಲೆಟರ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾಗಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ದೇನೆ ಅವುಗಳ ತಮ್ಮ ಮೂಲ ಸ್ವರೂಪವನ್ನು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬದಲಾಯಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತವೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ irregular comparison. It is bad becomes worse, worst. Evil, worse, worst. Good becomes better, best. Ill, worse, worst. Well, better, best. Late, later, latest. Then late, when we talk about this late, later, latest, it's related to time. And this late, latter, latest, last means when we talk about the position. And little, less, least. Much, more, most. Many, more, most. This is how there are some words. They are compared in a regular way and they have the complete different forms. Then look at some examples. Suppose if there is a sentence in positive degree, how we can change them into comparative and superlative. No other writer in English is as famous as Shakespeare. And If you change this sentence into comparative degree, what it becomes? Shakespeare is greater than any other writer in English. Okay? No other writer in English is as famous as Shakespeare. Shakespeare is greater than any other writer in English. And if you convert that into superlative degree, then what it becomes? Shakespeare is the most famous of all writers in English. In comparative, we can use Shakespeare is more famous than any other writer in the, or we can use greater than any other writer in English. Then look at one more example, that is no other metal is as useful as iron. Iron is more useful than any other metal. Iron is the most useful of all metals. And no other metal is as costly as gold. No other metal is costlier than gold. Gold is the costliest of all metals. This is how we can change positive into comparative, comparative into superlative, or vice versa. We can change superlative into comparative and positive. So this is how. Let's look at some more, few more examples. Very few cities in India are as big as Mumbai. Mumbai is bigger than most other cities in India. Okay, Mumbai is one of the biggest cities in India. Then very few countries in the world as large as China. China is larger than most other countries in the world. China is one of the largest countries in the world. Okay, large becomes larger than the largest. Okay, big, bigger than the biggest. How the adjectives are changed in three different degrees of comparison. And look at the example. No other man was as strong as Hercules. Hercules was stronger than any other man. Hercules was the strongest man in the world. Okay, strong, stronger than the strongest. This is how we can change a positive into comparative and comparative into superlative. And a very few Indian saints were as popular as Vivekananda. Vivekananda was more popular than most other Indian saints. Here, in this case, what we have done? We have taken more popular than most other Indian saints. Okay. Then Vivekananda was one of the most popular Indian saints. Then India is the largest democracy in the world. India is larger than any other democracy in the world. And positive, no other democracy in the world is as large as India. This is how superlative into comparative, then comparative into positive. This is how we can change into three different degrees. And let's check your understanding. No other boy is dash as James. Here tall, taller, tallest. Now the sentence is said to be in positive degree, so we have to take the adjectives tall. Then milk is dash than any other food. Here nourishing, more nourishing, and most nourishing. Here than is used, so therefore it is said to be in comparative degree. Then we need to take there more nourishing. The word more nourishing. Then radium is one of the dash metals. Here the definite article the is there. So before or after the definite article there must be a superlative degree, that is the most valuable metals we have to take. Then few English poets were as dash as Wordsworth. Again it is said to be in positive degree, so we need to take great as great as. And Simla is dash than. Here again there is a comparison, so what do I have to take? More famous than most other hill stations in India. And gold is one of the, again the definite article they is there. When, see, it's very easy to find out whether the sentence is in superlative or positive or comparative. If there is a definite article before the adjective, it's definitely said to be in superlative degree, and we need to take the most precious metals. Okay, and Solomon was dash than, again there is a comparison, wiser than any other king we can take. And few historians write as, again it's in said to be in a positive degree, so we have to take well as Macaulay. And very few books are, again it is in positive degree, so very few books are as popular as David Copperfield. Then the last one, the train is dash than a car, again there is the comparison, so a train is faster than a car. This is how we can use and make changes, or we can convert a positive into comparative, comparative into superlative by changing the adjectives. And I hope that I tried my level best to reach you. If you like the video, please subscribe to our channel and share the video with your friends. Till then, take care. Thank you. Bye.